Elk Rapids Shipwreck. A real easy dive in Elk Rapids and Elk Lake. Zooming in into Elk Rapids on the north arm there of Elk Lake. You can see the shipwreck right there on Google Maps. So it's just off from the highway, and you go to that little boat launch right there and park and swim out to the shipwreck. Easy peasy. So picture of it, it's you swim towards that white topped boat hoist, which may not be there next year, and the gazebo, and it's about 2/3 of the way across, and it's about 8 feet of water, summer 2020. So you want something floating next to you if you can. Don't have to. You can basically stand up most of the way out to it till just at the end. Easy start, and water's usually pretty calm there. The bottom is pretty solid. It's good to have something floating with you. Visibility. But there aren't any motorboaters in that area because it's filled up with stumps. A bunch of stumps. Logs. A bunch of flooded wood stumps area from when they put the dam in. Really neat stuff to look at snorkeling. That whole area was an old forest. And all the different shapes of the root systems and the logs and the trunks of the trees is pretty fascinating. Just diving the old forest is well worth it. Pretty cool. Sometimes you can see the logs or the trunks sticking right out of the water. You can see them from up above. The boaters can see them. And there are a bunch of them. Can't see just under the surface. So you get out there a little deeper towards the channel where the boaters are, but not quite to it. Starts to get deeper, but it's still not over your head till you get towards the end, when you get real close to the shipwreck. But then just before you get to the shipping channel, it drops off, and then this is swimming into the wreck. Kind of cool. It's creepy. It's always creepy swimming into the wrecks, for me anyway. It's a pretty big boat. Neat little pins and pegs and the ribs of the bottom of it. You can stand on it. The deck is pretty good shape. Be careful. You don't want to break through and bust something up. But it's a big boat, and it's pretty easy to stand on it, except for I fell right there. Yeah, it's pretty good size. It's got the whole deck right there. Diving back in, swimming along. If you go, there is a current going into Lake Michigan, towards Lake Michigan. So if you get to the one side, you can kind of just hover over it, and the current will walk you right down it. And not walk you. They start at the top, the front, right there is where I was at, upstream end. And then you kind of come through and see all the different parts of it. Pretty intact. A lot of those neat little pegs, and then you get to the ribs of it. Big middle center there. Very interesting dive. Easy. You get to a place where you're not that far over your head for very long. Buoy is good because there are boaters, but they usually don't come near this. And then on the way back, a lot of interesting shapes of the old flooded forest where they had fallen, and the way the water kind of ate away the bark, and some of it stayed, and just what the lake fresh water did to the old forest is pretty neat. Great dive, well recommended. Elk Rapids, awesome.